Righty, Sharp Customs, share, like, subscribe, you know the routine, forget about it. So, we haven't done a video in a few days. Here we are, we're Sunday night, finished watching NASCAR just a little while ago. Yes, I am a NASCAR fan, just so my viewers know, I love NASCAR. It's gonna become an entertainment business. I know it. But anyhow, we got this Chevy pickup hood with a cowl. I primed it, I painted it. I had issues with it, like the paint totally went weird, it blistered. Something I really haven't had issues for probably more than 20 years. I just put it in epoxy primer because I stripped it. I wish I had a piece of the paint to show you. Actually, I threw it out in the garbage, but it was, after a week, it was still rubbery, which is kind of weird for paint. It's getting like a burgundy red. It's kind of a freebie job I'm doing for a person I know, but let's move on. We've been picking away at the 52. You can see I've got the epoxy on it. We did like a shit ton of filler work on it to get it to this point. I still have that corner, the upper corner in that windshield on the right side. I still got to fix it. That's a pretty easy fix. You saw the video where I did the left side. Left side looks freaking awesome. Camera girls, she's still got to fix the right side rear cab corner. She's gonna do that. Those are the two biggest things left to do on the cab. And we'll get it all. We'll get some more coats of. We'll get some more coats of epoxy on it, and then we're going to be bringing the doors in shortly. We'll get those all stripped down. We did strip the cab right to steel, pretty much the whole thing. We're going to get this sanded, stripped, the dash. We'll get a nice coat of epoxy on that. I just got some new epoxy. It's definitely really nice epoxy. I've used many epoxies in the past years. Most epoxies you gotta let dry for, 2, 3, 4, upwards of a week before you can actually get on it and sand it. This stuff is actually really nice. It is a PPG product. You can literally get on it the next day, and you can be sanding it. Aside of the work we've been doing on this, we're trying to move this one really fast, and it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen really fast. We're gonna put a motor together. We're gonna get a tranny, put it on the motor. We're gonna get that mocked in it. We're gonna get, before you know it, this thing will be an all gray primer epoxy, because we're going to get this thing on the road as fast as possible. I'm going to say before, hopefully at least by October. We're right at the end of July. It's July 30th today. And hopefully by October, we're driving this down the road. So, I've also got four doors for an I believe it's an F350. It's a pretty big truck. I got these two. We got them. We took everything out of them because they're going to be all electric. Basically, this job is just to, take them from white, put them in black. We got two more to gut. They're actually in really good shape. They had these, let me get rid of this hose, but they had handles right here. Pretty sure these doors came from our local hydro company, and the person I'm doing them for got them on a really good deal. He has a black truck. They're way better than the doors that are on the truck. So we're going to get those suckers painted up. I believe it's just a standard Ford black. Let's move on. Let's move on. So, the quarter scale. I'm into the quarter scale thing again. Yeah, this little makeshift, you can see I got some of the windows cut. I don't have them all cut. It's pretty precise. I'm using a Dremel barrel sander. I got a disc. I keep blowing these discs like crazy. Yeah, Dremel, you know, it's about 1/8 of an inch thick, the fiberglass, and it just eats up. It eats up the discs. I actually had a nice, really nice metal disc with teeth on it, and I can't believe that the fiberglass actually ate the teeth right off of a metal disc. This little fake thing here, this little looking scoop, yeah, it was just there for a photo op, really. Okay, so this thing is bitchin' looking. I had to change my wheelbase and stuff. I just had to tweak it. It was out a little bit. Basically, what I did is so you can see how the suspension drops. My front coils aren't quite stiff enough, so I did this weird 1/4 inch tubing. Now, my bumper used to encapsulate the tubing. The video I did a while back where I was driving it, it was a very short video. With the clear cast body, we scrubbed off a lot of the bumper on the asphalt. So I decided to put the fiberglass body on top of this 1/4 inch bar stock, and I figured, you know, when you're running it, it drops pretty low. It doesn't drop that low, but I don't have a sway bar, so it tends to have a really hard roll in the corners, and I figured if I left this bar underneath, put the body on top of it, then I've got kind of like a scrubber on the asphalt. The metal will rub on the asphalt. Eventually I will get some stronger springs. I'm going to pull the body off. I think it looks very cool with the windows I have cut out. The idea here is to, you know, I'm still producing these bodies. I got one on the go right now. It's in prep, you know, it's getting ready to be laid up and whatnot. I'm probably gonna custom paint this one for this chassis, but I want to show everybody the chassis, so I'm going to pull the body off. Basically I got 2 pins here, which will have, like, you know, like a miniature hitch pin through here. I'll cut these down shorter. I didn't really want to put them through the tonneau cover. I kind of wanted to keep everything concealed. The front, it kind of slips on, like I can literally grab, you know, you can lift the fiberglass itself. It's hooked on. It's hooked on good. Those will have pins. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to incorporate probably some solid 1/4 inch rod up around the back window. So I'm hoping it's going to be balanced, so I can reach in the back window to basically carry this 1/4 scale model. So let's whip the body off. Slide it forward. It's a little tricky. There we go. Get the body off. You can see inside. You can see how big it is with me holding it. I'm just going to set it back over here. So we can look at basically the frame setup. So I got this little plate here. And yeah, it adds weight, but this thing is a quarter scale thing with basically a pocket bike motor, which can carry, you know, almost a 200-pound person. Not worried about weight really. As you can see right in this vicinity, if you've been watching my videos, I used to have a brake here. And what I found with the brake was, it was inhibiting the rotation. It was, every time the suspension went down, because the disc was around here, it was grinding against the caliper, the brake caliper. So I eliminated it. I will put another braking system on it. I'm just not really sure where I'm gonna put it. I'm thinking probably off of the motor shaft where it doesn't move. This is just, you know, this is just 3/16 square, which is kind of my drive shaft at the moment. With the little bit of movement in the suspension, it seems to work fine. I'm gonna lift it up. I'm gonna spin the wheels so you can see that now we're getting free rotation. I was not getting free rotation before. I had a little bit of binding going on, and it was a little tough on the clutch. The clutch was, you know, heating up. You could smell it. Probably gonna have to order another clutch for it. Now, if by chance this motor don't work out, this is basically, I have to gravity feed this. This is a reed valve motor. It's not a, you know, a sucker motor. But I did just acquire this cool little motor. It's got a 4-to-1 gear ratio here. You know, it's got a sprocket on it. Very torquey. It's a 33 cc. It's a race motor. This motor, got this for $10 at a swap meet. The motor's good. Just got to clean the carburetor, put it back on. Now this is a sucker, you know, runs the diaphragm and the carburetor, which means I could put my fuel tank lower. It is less cc's. I do like it because there's no plastic on it. Like, this is probably a vintage motor, but it came off of a scooter, as far as I know, when I looked it up. Pretty cool really. If I don't use it on this chassis, I do have plans to create a brand new chassis. Now, what I'm going to talk about next is I'm going to talk about, I want people to see my numbers. I want people to see my numbers. So if the camera wants to look at my whiteboard here, these are the numbers. This is what I've spent so far on this build. So I believe if I was to add it up, I'm below $600. I am below $600 on this build. And if you go back and you watch some of my older videos, the whole idea was just to show people that, you know what, you can build a cool RC quarter scale. Quarter scale, in my eyes, is it's the pinnacle. Okay, you know what, they make shit tons of 1/5 scale stuff for bashing and running and whatnot. Oh, I just thought of something. I gotta grab this. Stay with me, stay with me, stay with me, people. I didn't want to. Okay, I just acquired this. I got a really good deal on this. This is your 1/5 scale. This is a Rovan. It's a 33.5 cc. This thing is virtually brand new. You know, these things are made from across the pond. I'm sure everybody's aware of that. They got some pretty cool components on it. They got some pretty cheap components on it. You know, hundreds of thousands of these things being made on a daily basis. And okay, you're gonna ask, well, wait a minute, John. You like building the quarter scale stuff. You know, you like collecting the quarter scale stuff. Why did you buy a Rovan? Well, number one, it was a good deal. And number two, I wanted something just to take out and rip that I don't care a whole lot about. But I'm also gonna say that, there we go, look at that. It's almost as big as the quarter scale. The wheelbase is not the same. It is shorter. It's classified as a 5th scale, and I do know that you can buy a pan for the Bajas, the Rovans, King motor, whatever you're after, and you can extend it to around a 26-27 inch, so that you could possibly put a quarter scale body, you know, atop of it. That would be a pretty cool ripper. I mean, I would love to take one of my bodies, and I would actually like to chop the top, and I'd love to make a drag car utilizing one of these. That could be a possible, you know, future build. I'm gonna pick this thing up. I'm gonna put it beside my quarter scale chassis, just so we can get a visual. So there you go. It's almost as big. It's a little bit shorter, you know. I look at this stuff. I know where it's made, and I look at the engineering of it, and I honestly got to say, it impresses me. And I know that most of the components on it, you know, I've had this thing for more than a week, and I haven't even drove it yet. To me, it's too clean. It's too clean. I literally drove it up my driveway, and I drove it back down my driveway purely to test the brakes, test the electronics. You know, this thing ain't more than a year old. But, like I said, it was a good deal, so I took it. It's just another piece of my arsenal when it comes to the RC stuff. And this might be a little long video. I know a lot of people don't understand the whole RC thing. You know, it's an obsession. To people like me, it's an obsession. I own, or I'm building, you know, we have the Camera Girls 1952 Chevy pickup. You've seen videos with my 1952 Pro Street 671 blown 52 Chevy. You know, you've seen the videos, and I built a mini one just to kind of show and prove, and I ripped this thing. Trust me, I ripped this thing. When I get that new body finish being all the windows cut. I'm gonna put a fancy schmancy, you know, you've seen my airbrushing videos. I'm gonna do a crazy airbrushing paint job on it. And I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna rip it. I'm gonna rip it. I will rip it until the clutch burns out of it. Because you know what? That's, to me, that's what this stuff is all about. When you have an obsession with RC, I don't care if it's cars, it's boats, it's planes, this shit is meant to be used. That is the fun of it. As much as I love building it, I like to rip it, you know, and I'll rip it till it breaks. Because that just makes me want to fix it again and rip it some more. And that's my obsession with RC stuff. Whether it's boats, planes, drones, helicopters, cars, you know, that's my obsession with RC stuff. So, till our next video, you got to see a lot of shit tonight. Sharp Customs. Peace. I'm out.